watch this?
How?
Ew,
How do you watch this?
Dude, I'm gonna pee my pants.
Hi, you're listening to How Do You Watch This, a movie review podcast where each week we recommend a movie in the genre we love, but they don't. My name is Megan and I love romance.
My name is Demi and I love horror.
And I was forgetting which pronouns we use. I was like, we, that, I, you. I couldn't remember. But
It's a long day.
there we are. Yeah.
Long day.
It is. It's almost 7:00 at night, which is basically my bedtime.
I know.
Yeah. So the movie that I picked for Demi this week was Moulin Rouge! Exclamation point.
Yes, don't forget the exclamation point.
And can you guess the common thread?
So, I had one immediate one, and I actually thought of two other ones.
Okay,
but it's probably
okay.
this one.
I can't wait to hear the two other ones.
Nicole Kidman plays a dead character in both is one option.
Great.
The other one is tuberculosis plays a role.
Oh my god,
In
it
both
does.
movies.
Shut up. I didn't even realize that's a good one.
I didn't think about it till like the end of
Yeah.
Moulin Rouge. I was like, oh wait,
Yeah.
that's kind of funny. And then they were both released in 2001.
Yeah, it's Nicole Kidman, but you were very specific, and I love the specificity because you're correct. She did play a dead character in both.
I feel like that's funnier, but yeah, Nicole
Yeah.
Kidman is in both movies.
Yeah, she's in both, but I like your common thread. We'll stick with that one. But
Okay.
I didn't even think about the tuberculosis made no connection for me. Although after I watched it, I was like, probably not a great movie for me to pick as someone with health anxiety.
Yeah, I was
What's wrong
going
with
to
me?
say. I was gonna say, I'm like, I hope Megan's okay.
Dude, for some reason,
Like, I'm getting stressed out.
right. For some reason, in my memory, it was syphilis. And I was like, well, syphilis isn't going to take me out. I don't have to worry about that. And then I'm watching it and I was like, oh no.
I don't think you have to worry about tuberculosis that
Yeah,
much. but-
hopefully. I mean, it's not dead, but I don't
Right.
think it's common. God, it's like, it is one of my fears. Because the healing time, if you get tuberculosis, because you won't necessarily die from it nowadays, but
Yeah.
you have to be in a hospital for like 3 years.
Holy shit! I did not know that.
Yeah, I did a deep dive a while back
Oh.
because, health anxiety. But
No wonder it was fucking taking people out
Yeah.
back in the day.
yeah, because, I mean, they died. That's also where,
Yeah.
I don't know why I said it like that.
And do you know how long like people would have it before they died? Like their symptoms?
I think it could be a while. Like, it really
Okay.
depends on how aggressive it was for them. I could be entirely wrong. This is all based on memory, but
yeah.
I think that's why people would go to, the beach when they were sick because they thought that the beach air helped
Oh.
them. So it's not like it was very rapid. I think it was it took a while. And it wasn't, I thought about looking stuff up about it and I was like, I'm not doing that to myself.
That's fair.
But to my memory, it is highly contagious, but it's also not like guaranteed to spread. So essentially the people around her could have gotten tuberculosis from her. They could have
Yeah.
gotten a latent version, which is kind of lays dormant in your system, or they could have been
Okay.
unharmed. So it isn't a done deal that everyone around, it's not like COVID where,
Yeah.
she was making out with someone and they would definitely have gotten it. But
Right.
anyway.
Yeah, I was just curious because she was pretty fucked up
Yeah.
at the start of the movie. So I'm like, she must have been dealing with this for a little bit, I would assume.
It would definitely, for it to have gotten to the point it was at, it had to have been happening for a while. The fact
Yeah.
that no one caught on until that point is, I guess, a testament to her hiding it.
Yeah, for real.
Which, from the start, we are spoiling that she dies, but it is revealed pretty early on. However,
Yes.
I somehow managed, when I first watched it, this must just be showing, the first time I watched it, I mentioned I was like on Pinterest at the same time. I clearly was not paying
Right.
enough attention because I was shocked. I was shocked.
No, I will say I didn't remember that in the beginning too. Of him saying,
Yeah.
like she's dead and this is our story, and I
Right.
blacked that out. Which was like,
Right.
oh.
Because it's
I'm
like,
not paying that
happens
much
fast.
attention.
I was watching this. I was reading an interview of the guy who did the movie, And
Yeah.
he was basically saying that the whole point of he did it was technically part of a trilogy, which it wasn't a real trilogy. It was just kind of
Yeah.
this like cinematic equation he created. And one of the components of the equation is that you know what's going to happen in the end at the start of the movie.
Okay.
And I was like, well,
Yeah.
dumb me didn't get that.
Yeah, I don't know if I was just hoping, like,
God, must be hope.
maybe she won't die. Maybe
Right.
he's lying.
Right.
Or he thinks she's dead and
Or,
she's
like,
not, and she shows up.
I think when I first watched it, it must have been just that the love is dead. Like that. It's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah, it could have meant
Yeah.
a few things, you know?
Yeah.
Not that she was dead. But,
Right. I mean, who would expect
and then
that?
not us.
Nope.
Anyway, so Moulin Rouge is a 2001 movie,
Mhm.
and it is based off a Broadway musical.
No, the Broadway
the same name.
musicals came second.
Came second,
Yeah.
really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought it was based off of it. Interesting.
Movie came first.
Okay, because the elephant medley is different, very different in the Broadway. So I
Is it?
figured they shortened it for the movie.
No.
Because it's way longer in the Broadway.
guess.
When I listened to it, I was like, this song's going on forever. they're just singing every song ever.
That's
Um,
really funny. I think that they probably just were like, hey, let's keep going.
I just kept thinking of the Saturday Night Live skit.
Oh my God, I know. Me too.
my I was just like, I can't not think of that.
No, I feel like I need to have a rewatch of it now that it's fresh in my mind. It's so good.
So it is a musical original.
Yes.
So the musical came after, which is really interesting.
Well, I mean, it's a jukebox musical, so all the songs were already
right.
But it took him 2.5 years to get the rights to all the music. And he
interesting.
didn't get the rights to 2 songs, one by Cat Stevens, because Cat Stevens said that the racy undertones of the movie went against his Muslim beliefs. And then I believe it was the Rolling Stones, which I think that they're notoriously difficult to get rights from.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And by he, you mean a director, right?
Which is
Baz Luhrmann?
Yep.
Luhrmann?
Yep, I didn't remember how to pronounce it, so I was putting it on you, dude.
So, all right. So the movie begins in Paris in 1900, where we meet Christian, our main character, played by, and I can never say his name right, Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor.
What?
Ewan?
Yeah. Is it Ewan?
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay. It looks like Ewan, and it never makes sense to me. So, okay.
I believe, unless I'm wrong, but I'm almost positive it's Ewan.
I don't know. He's got a strong accent, so God knows how it fucking sounds. Either way, it's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes. Which I guess the Star Wars did interfere in some way with the production, but I think it halted some production times because they went over a little bit. But
okay.
Whatever. It's like I didn't really screenshot that. It's a fun fact. I just locked it in. Anyway, so yeah.
Anyway, so he's in this movie. Yeah. Mr. McGregor. He's a young writer looking pretty rough around the edges and struggling to start typing on his typewriter. But he eventually begins to write the story of the woman he loved who is now dead, quote unquote. It's already not a happy start.
Yup. Unless you're us, who completely ignores that.
We were just distracted by Mr. McGregor, I guess, and his beard.
Come on. He is. You know.
He is.
He is.
So this love story begins a year earlier in 1899, where Christian arrives in the, excuse my French,
Montmartre.
Montmartre?
Yes.
I hate the
What did you think it was?
I was like Montmartre or something.
No, it's Montmartre. I mean, it's probably
just Montmartre.
It probably is Montmartre, but Montmartre.
Okay.
Montmartre.
Well, you're the French professional.
No, please, God, everyone's gonna like roast me alive. Montmartre. I think it probably is because it's TRE, right?
Yeah.
So it's truh, but you have to get really
Either
phlegmy.
Yeah.
I was there.
We're not doing that.
I went to.
Oh, really?
I went there. Yeah, I went to Paris in college for a class, and it was freaking rad.
Did you go to the Red District?
I did. I went to, because my roommate at the time was obsessed with Moulin Rouge and wanted to go. And this girl had no idea what the red light district was. I was like, what? Okay, let's go. And then I was like, really huge eyes the whole time. Like, what's happening around me? I don't understand. It was, I was out of my element. Imagine. Yeah.
I was gonna say it was very sexy.
Oh my god, dude! It was like supermarkets of just sex stuff. Like,
wow, that's pretty cool.
I mean, we just walked around outside in the streets and ogled what was happening.
Yeah, just taking it all in.
Yeah. I honestly don't remember very much, mostly because I just have a bad memory. We were fully sober going there. I just cannot remember what.
In my 30s now.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything.
It's 11 years ago at this point, I think. Oof. No. Yes. 11.
Oh, man. A while ago. So it's that district of Paris. And he wishes to join in on the Bohemian movement. And he ends up meeting Henry de Toulouse.
Toulouse-Lautrec.
Yeah. And who is played by, and I did not write his name on here, John Leguizamo. Oh my god, why am I blanking on his name? Why can I not read right now?
This episode's gonna kill you, I think.
Oh my god, I think I have a stroke. Why can I not read? I literally cannot read his name out right now. I guess I thought his name was like spelled differently.
Leguizamo?
Leguizamo?
Leguizamo.
That's it. Leguizamo. Okay. The spelling threw me off because I did not expect it to
look like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Toulouse-Lautrec
I just never seen his name.
Was very famous at that time period, and there's a lot of artwork about him, or maybe he did art. Oh my god, he created artwork. I am blanking on my art history right now.
Oh, so he's like a real dude?
Yeah. Oh yeah. A lot of, so they were going to include more real people, but then they mostly just did him. Yes. Okay, that's what I thought, because I was like, either he was in paintings or he was a painter. But yeah, he created art, because I learned about him in my art classes, my art history classes. He created this poster, which you've definitely seen before. It's called the Moulin Rouge, La Goulue. So
okay. Yeah.
That makes sense why they would include him in the film because of all that.
Right, because of the art.
Yeah, so he was real. There was a couple of things that I guess a few of the other cast members were named after can dancers. So I was super offended by the name Chocolat for one of the people, but apparently that was the name of a can dancer.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, well, at least there's like a.
I was gonna say, I'm like, it feels very like 1899 type of thing to do.
Right.
Was he given this name?
Right.
Did he choose this name for himself?
I have no idea. I did not look into him too much, but I was a little alarmed at first. Like, what's happening?
El Chocolat is a black man. So
yes, yeah. Yep.
So anyway, Christian meets the Toulouse and his troupe of performers after one of the performers falls through his roof. And so the group is currently writing a play called Spectacular. And then once Christian helps him out with the play, they have him join their troupe, and they come up with a plan to go to the Moulin Rouge, where they hope Christian's talents will impress Satine, who's played by Nicole Kidman, and is the star performer and courtesan. This will in turn convince Harold Zidler, the proprietor of the Moulin Rouge, to let Christian write this show. So, at the same time, Zidler plans to have the wealthy, powerful, and very creepy Duke of Monroe. Monroth or Monroe? Doesn't matter. The Duke.
Yeah.
Sleep with Satine in exchange for potential financing to convert the club into a theater. It's Satine's dream to become an actress, so this is a big moment for her. So they go to the Moulin Rouge. It's a party scene. The dancers are coming out. It is a sight to behold. the teen comes down on this little swing and she sings Diamonds
Our girl's best friend. Yeah, and that was all her. She did not have a stunt double.
Yeah, I knew she could sing a little bit.
Yeah. No, I think that they did all the vocals themselves. I didn't see anything about them dubbing. They did dub Zidler in one scene. In the scene, Like a Virgin, he got dubbed a little bit.
Okay.
But
I knew McGregor's song naturally, and I'm pretty sure Nicole. Yeah. I knew that Nicole sang, but I wasn't sure for everything. But she sounded really good.
Yeah, but even just her being on and doing all those dance moves, I guess it took her 2 weeks to learn everything to do it on there. But she did break her rib during filming twice.
Oh.
Once while putting on a corset, and another I know, and then another time falling down the stairs. I know.
Okay. Well, there's no stair falling in the movie, so she just fell.
Yeah, it was not on purpose. I think it was just during filming. So some of the scenes are filmed. She was in a wheelchair, and they just did neck up.
Oh my god!
I know.
Then they had her ass do the others right after.
Oh my god! I know. She couldn't do. She was supposed to be in Panic Room or something, a movie.
Oh. Okay.
And she couldn't do it because of the injuries.
Oh my gosh!
I know.
Jeez. Well, it's like I can't believe she broke 2 ribs. That's crazy.
I know. And the fact that one of them was while putting on a corset is horrifying.
Right. Like, who the fuck was putting on that corset so tightly?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, that night, while everyone's dancing and stuff, Satine mistakes Christian for the Duke and attempts to seduce him by dancing with him. And then they have their little meet cute. And then she closes out the performance. She ends up fainting and falling off the freaking swing. El Chocolat catches her. And that's the first sign that things are not okay. Later, she recovers and retires to her private chamber where she meets with Christian. This whole time, Christian thinks that Satine wants to hear his poetry and writing, but Satine thinks he wants to have sex. So it's just a very funny scene of just miscommunication between the both of them. And eventually, Christian reveals he ends up breaking out in song. True
identity, yes.
Yeah. By singing Your Song. And eventually the Duke arrives and Satine tries to hide Christian. And she manages to get the Duke out of the room and he ends up coming back in, seeing Christian with Satine. And they manage to convince the Duke that they were just rehearsing for the play Spectacular. Yep. And then this whole time, Toulouse and the troupe were watching and they come in to help the claim that they were all rehearsing together.
Yep.
So it ends up working out. And then Zidler shows up and joins in as well. Yeah. And at this point, Christian and the Bohemians improvise a story for the Duke about a beautiful Indian courtesan who falls in love with the poor sitar player, but she's engaged to the evil Maharaja. And I'd love to know with the whole play,
why the obsession
theme. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So I was wondering that too. And I think it's twofold. The one reason that I found online was apparently the director said that he and someone else, I forget who it was, they went to see a Bollywood movie and he was blown away by the fact that they didn't understand anything that was going on, but that they completely could tell what was happening just by the visuals and the acting, and that it was a very somber movie with very few comedic elements, but it still managed to just really draw the audience in and how the audience reacted. And so his hope was to do the same thing with a Western movie. He was like, let me see if I can take this kind of idea and Westernize it, which is very in with the time. At that time, the turn of the century, there was a big obsession with Eastern art. And I don't know necessarily, I think like Japanese art was really, really big in France at the time. And there was a lot of emulation of that. So it does kind of make sense that they would be copying things from Eastern. I didn't read anything about that, but just if he was trying to really pull forth that 1900s vibe, it makes sense. But that's all I found on it. I could be missing some big stuff, but that's my knowledge.
Yeah. Okay. So after they tell this whole story of what Spectacular is supposed to be, the Duke agrees to invest, but only if Satine and Moulin Rouge are turned over to him as if she is an object. Later on, Christian goes to see Satine and convince her to take a chance on love with the Elephant Love Medley song. And Satine at first claims not to be in love with Christian, but by the end of the song, they kiss and it is true love.
Aww.
During construction at the Moulin Rouge, Christian and Satine's love deepens while the Duke becomes frustrated with all the time he thinks Satine is spending with Christian working on the play. To calm him, Zidler arranges for Satine to spend the night with the Duke, and then he angrily tells Satine to end her affair with Christian after he sees them kissing and canoodling about in the rafters. She misses the dinner when she falls unconscious, leading the doctor to diagnose a fatal case of tuberculosis. After this, she does try to end things.
She doesn't know that.
Yeah. So they tell Zidler and the woman. Who's the woman there? She was like,
oh, I don't know. She seems to be like the lady of the stage.
Yeah. So
I don't think that's a job.
She's like in Phantom of the Opera. What was the one role of the woman? That was kind of like
yeah, dude, I don't know.
Christine's mother. Okay. It's fine. It's an older woman that cares for the girls. We'll just say that.
Yeah.
So Satine does try to end things with Christian by telling him that their relationship is endangering the production, but Christian writes a secret song to include in the show that they would sing to each other to confirm their love. The song is Come What May, and I basically injected this song into my bloodstream with how often I used to listen to it. So this song was it was crazy. I used to listen to it on repeat.
It's that's amazing. It's the only original song for this movie, but it was originally actually written for Romeo and Juliet, and because of that, it got disqualified from getting an Oscar for Best Original Song.
Oh no.
Can you believe?
For Romeo and Juliet, like the modern take?
The movie with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Yes. Very interesting.
Yep.
Well, it's a good song. Slaps. So,
yeah,
anyway.
It's great. It's phenomenal.
At the final rehearsal, Nini, a can-can dancer jealous of Satine's popularity, hints to the Duke that the play represents the relationship between him, Christian, and Satine. Bitch. Enraged, the Duke demands that the show ends with the courtesan marrying the Maharaja, instead of Christian's ending, where she marries the sitar player. Satine then promises to spend the night with him, after which they will decide on the ending to just help ease things over. Christian's upset, even though he said he wouldn't be jealous. And then this leads to my favorite song of the movie and my most memorable scene, El Tango de Roxanne.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it is with this song. That whole scene, it is so
I mean,
good.
He has a great voice, and he just has such passion behind. Like, I really
it's just like
him.
Yeah, you could feel the heartbreak.
Yes.
And then the raspiness of the other man singing Roxanne. I'm like, oh my God, it's so good. It's so good. I remember when I first heard the original song, Roxanne, after hearing this version, I was like, oh, what is this?
It doesn't live up to it.
No, definitely not. Anyway, it's my favorite scene.
I don't know if it was my favorite scene, but my most memorable scene for me when I was watching it was the Like a Virgin scene.
It's good, yeah.
I just thought it was so funny. I just thought the guy who played the Duke did a really good job of sounding like this dorky guy who has no...
He was so good. And I was trying to remember, I'm like, why is his face familiar? I know this face. So the actor is Richard Roxburgh, and he plays the vampire Dracula in the Van Helsing movie.
Oh,
and that was the only other thing I recognized him from. Like, it had to be that. That had to be where I picked up his face. But just seeing the two different characters is just so funny.
So great.
But yeah, no, I love the Like a Virgin song. That one's so funny. But yeah, the only thing I don't like about this scene is that the Duke attempts to rape Satine.
Yep. That's horrible.
After so she basically is down to clown until she sees Christian, and then she's like, I can't do it. And the Duke gets upset and tries to, do that.
It's really...
But luckily, Chocolat, one of the cabaret dancers, saves her. And I'm like, thank God. God.
Yes.
He's a real one.
He really is.
So, yeah, he'd like punch the shit out of the Duke.
Yeah, he knocked him backside the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that probably wouldn't have gone over so great in that time period, but...
No, especially with him being a black man. But anyway.
Yep.
After that, Christian decides that he and Satine should just leave the show and run away. Meanwhile, the Duke vows to kill Christian. And I don't understand why he just doesn't give it up, but at this point, he is a stubborn man. So.
Right. He wants what he wants.
Like, obviously, Satine does not want you.
Yeah.
So, Zidler finds Satine in her dressing room packing, and he tells her that the Duke is planning on murdering Christian, and that if she wants Christian to live, she must cut him off completely and be with the Duke. That doesn't work super well. So then he drops a bomb on her and tells her that her illness is fatal and that she is dying. So
God, it's a horrible way to find out.
Horrible situation.
Yeah.
Because not only is Satine not able to just move and live with her love, she also can't be an actress. It's just like all her dreams are just crushed. It's horrible.
Right. Yeah. And to find out you're dying, I would rather not know, to be honest.
Right. But can you imagine you leave with Christian and then on the train you fucking die?
I still would do it.
You literally had
like... though. I would. I would not. This movie would have been way shorter. It would have been 20 minutes shorter. If it was me. Okay, bye. I'm going to go spend my last happy moments with the person I love instead of sweating on stage and singing. Like, no thanks.
Fair. That's fair. That's fair.
He'll hold me as I die. I'll tell him what's happening. It won't be a surprise to him.
So this convinces her to end things with Christian and pretty much save his life. So Christian's obviously devastated.
Yeah.
And then the opening night of the show, Christian decides to show up, and the actor who plays the sitar player has narcolepsy, so he's asleep. Christian steals his outfit and then publicly denounces Satine on stage, which is so dramatic of him.
Oh, dude, it was
pretty much
so dramatic.
So for no reason.
Oh my God.
She's on the ground. He throws money at her.
He kept being like, if our love was nothing,
right,
but this, like, let me pay you then. Which, if she was really trying to convince him, she should have taken the money. But, like, I'm obviously pro-love, so I just, she obviously was denying the money. She's like, no, keep your money. And that was his way of finding out if she really loved him, because, she wasn't accepting it. And then he dramatically threw the money at her. And I was like, whoa. And then he called her the W word. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah. In front of a crowd of people watching this. And they had to kind of play it off like it was part of the show.
Right.
Which kind of
was. It did fit in with the show very well. But
yeah,
it was... I was riveted. The drama.
Oh my God. Can you imagine being in the audience? I was like, oh my God.
I know.
This show is amazing. Spectacular. So after Christian does this, he starts walking off the stage, tells the Duke that he can have her. And then Toulouse, who is playing the sitar, cries out from the rafters.
I forgot he's just the sitar. That's
yeah. So the sitar is like, it can only tell the truth. I don't know why it talks, but that's why. So he cries out from the rafters, the greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. This spurs Satine to start singing Come With Me, causing Christian to change his mind. And then they're singing. It's really cool. Meanwhile, the Duke and his bodyguard are still trying to kill Christian.
Oh, God.
But Zidler and the company managed to thwart several attempts to do this. So the show ends with Christian and Satine proclaiming their love, and the Duke storms out a cabaret, pissed off. The audience is all erupting in applause.
Mhm.
Everything's happy. But then Satine collapses after the curtains close. And before she dies, she tells Christian to write their story and that she'll always be with him. Then we cut to the present, which is the beginning of the movie. And we see that the Moulin Rouge has closed down and is in disrepair while Christian finishes the story, declaring that their love will live forever.
Mhm.
The end.
Yeah.
Such a happy way to end.
I know. What was I doing?
What a mess.
A hardcore mess.
But it is a fun movie. It is a good movie.
It is fun with great music, but a horrible ending. And I've been holding off on it. And I guess I was just in a sad girl mood. I don't know.
Was this the second time you've ever watched it then? Or have you watched it before?
Pretty sure it's only the second time I've watched it.
Really? Oh my gosh. So it's like you've watched it for the first time.
It was.
basically.
It was like watching it for the first time, except I knew what was going to happen at the end, which was sad.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I didn't cry though.
I didn't cry either. I think I'm just numb. I have seen this movie a
know.
lot. So
Have you? I
Yeah.
think I've thought about this movie so many times. I knew what was happening. And
Yeah.
but the acting is great.
Mhm.
Ewan McGregor did a phenomenal job. Like 10 out of 10. He really
him and Nicole really killed
Yeah.
it. And I just love both of them. I think they had such good chemistry. I love their voices, and it was just everything with them was just so cute and fun.
It
and
was.
It's all the more heartbreaking. So.
I know. It was
I could
sad.
believe that they would fall in love very quickly.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
especially with his voice, he's
Oh my
mean,
god,
how
I
could you not?
know. He's
How
just
could you
he's
not?
like just a cutie.
I know he's so cute. But I do love the song choices in this movie.
Yes.
I think they did a good job of picking different songs, and especially the Elephant Love Medley, which is just a variety of
Yeah.
songs blended together. I think that's a really fun song.
Yeah.
And I don't think there were any songs that I really disliked.
No, I can't
From the
think of
movie.
any that I was like, this shouldn't have been.
Everything was fun and everything had its own unique take on it,
Yeah.
which is really cool. And I love Nicole Kidman's red hair. And I know
Yes.
she's a natural redhead. But
She was
I'm
in a
like, she should-
wig.
Yeah, so she has she's like a natural redhead, which is very, very very light
Yeah.
red. Very Irish
Yeah.
looking. But yeah, I figured her hair was dyed or something.
Yeah.
So I'm like, there's no way her hair is that natural color. But I just love the red on her. And
Yeah.
I wish she would back to the red.
I know.
Even I like the blonde on her too, but I'm like the red just like
It's beautiful.
it looks so good on
I
her.
know.
But
Agreed.
yeah, I forgot how quirky this movie was.
Yeah.
Especially the beginning. I felt like I was just getting whiplash with them
Yes.
just
It was
just talking
rapid
so
fire.
quickly.
Yes.
and then them drinking and the fairy
Dude, the
comes
fairy
out.
is out of nowhere. Out of nowhere.
dying.
So trippy. That was supposed to be Ozzy Osbourne originally, and then they changed it. So the fairy was not
Oh.
Ozzy anymore. But the
Oh my
scream at
God.
the end is him.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
No, that scene I do love the fairy scene, but I was like, man, I forgot how I just
It's
forget
just
how goofy this movie
random.
is.
It feels very yeah.
Because I feel like it starts off so goofy, and I think it gets more toned down as it
Yes.
goes throughout, which makes sense
There
because
are
it is.
silly moments.
that.
It does it
Yeah.
they blur the lines of reality. At one point, when the gun gets thrown in the air, it falls out of the Moulin Rouge and hits the Eiffel Tower. Like it's not based in reality. They travel
No.
massive distances in minutes
Right.
by like jumping through buildings and whatever. They climb buildings with ease. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
realistic in that way.
Or Zidler like flying into the Moulin Rouge at one point.
Right. None of that would actually happen.
I do like the quirkiness.
Yeah.
But the other point I wanted to make was I'm curious because I've never seen the Broadway show.
Right.
And I'm curious how similar they are
Mhm.
or how different they are. But yeah, I was curious if you've ever seen it.
I have not, and I didn't do much research into it because
I do feel better knowing that the movie came first because I was a little worried that I was gonna be a Phantom of the Opera thing where if I ever did see the Broadway show,
you'd never be able to watch
I would
the
never
movie
be able to
again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would definitely
So-
go see it.
Yeah. like I said, the songs, there's a lot more songs on the show for the Broadway show,
Okay.
but they are a little different.
Huh. Interesting. I wonder if it's just to stretch the time, because the movie isn't it's
Probably.
decent length.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'd say so. It's probably to make it longer.
Yeah.
I'd say so. I forget the guy who was really popular. It was really popular on TikTok for a while. I don't know if you got those videos, but it was him singing the tango song, and he just sounded so good.
Really?
I mean, I love McGregor, but what was his name? It's like Aaron Tarrant or something like that. Tveeit. Tveeit.
I would say Tibet.
So have you watched Les Mis?
Nope.
It's fine if you didn't.
I haven't. I want to. It's on my list, but I haven't.
Yeah. There's some things I enjoy about it. One of them is him. He's really good. He was also in Grease Live.
Oh.
If you watched that,
no.
he played Danny.
Really?
Okay. He has a very great voice. So definitely, if you could find the clip of him singing, definitely check it out.
Okay.
He is now in a new Broadway show, and I forget what it is. Anyway, he was Christian for a long time. I know he played the role of Christian for a long time. I want to say the soundtrack, the official soundtrack is him singing.
Okay.
But I could be wrong about that too. I feel like everything I wanted to say, I said kind of throughout. If you have anything.
I have lots of facts. So just to go talk a little bit about the historical stuff, I didn't get too much information, but Le Moulin Rouge is the birthplace of the can-can, so that's why they talked about the can-can so much. Apparently it's very highbrow now. I don't really know. I was doing like a little bit of research, read some fun facts about it, and it has really good food is what article said. I don't know.
Oh, the if you go now to the Moulin Rouge. Right. Yeah, so it's you get dinner and champagne. And it's just like a show.
Yeah.
It's definitely very different
Yes.
vibes.
Yeah. The original can-can dancers didn't wear undergarments when they were doing the can-can, which obviously they could not do for the movie, or it wouldn't have gotten PG-13 rating.
Can you imagine, like,
no,
the smell?
Stop! Go away! I'm deleting that. That's not making
1899.
Buddy.
In Paris.
Get
where
out
no
of
one
here.
took a bath properly.
Oof.
Oh my god.
Well, that's why I thought she had syphilis, because I was like, she was a courtesan, and I thought that was more likely, but no, she got.
That's what I thought she had some sort of sex. I don't know, something like related to that.
But I guess that would have been too much of a bummer, because she definitely would have given it to Christian. So.
Very true. Very true. I guess they had to give her something else.
Right. Speaking of Christian, Heath Ledger and Jake Gyllenhaal were both up for the role of Christian, but were decided not because they were too young. They felt like it would have made Satine way older. They were in their early 20s. And so it was opted to go with Ewan McGregor.
That's funny that Jake and Heath ended up doing Brokeback.
Yes. That is really funny. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Jake Gyllenhaal does have a baby face. He definitely would have looked
way too
18.
young. Way too young. And then Leonardo DiCaprio wanted the role, but when he was buddies with the director, and when he auditioned, it was, they were playing music together, and he just did not do a good job, and they kind of laughed about it together, and it was very clear that he was not going to be in that role.
At least he tried.
Right, exactly. The actor who played Toulouse-Lautrec, John Leguizamo. Yeah. He is about 5'6", and so he had to essentially wear prosthetics to be shorter.
Yeah. I was going to say, was the real man short like that?
No, he was not.
Okay.
So they basically, I mean, God forbid they hired somebody who was actually the
Right.
proper height. Instead, what they did was torture this poor man by putting him in 45 pounds of prosthetics. He could only wear them for 45 minutes at a time before he would have to take a 15-minute break. And he ended up needing like 4 years of physical therapy afterwards.
Oh my god!
I know. I was like, oh my.
Because every time I saw him, I'm like, it looks like he's walking on his knees. That's what it looked
he was
like to
doing.
me.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So he was walking on his knees, which, I mean, no offense, dude, but I feel like they should have just hired someone 4'11".
Yeah. I mean, he was very popular around that time. He was in the Romeo and Juliet, which is interesting. That Come What May also comes from. Or supposed to be for that.
Yeah.
But
well, it's the same director. That was part of his trilogy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the trilogy.
What's the third movie?
Or something Ballroom, Strictly Ballroom, which I've never seen, but that was the third one in his.
Okay.
That it's not a true trilogy, but both of those are tragedies, so that doesn't make me want to watch Strictly Ballroom.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I'll avoid.
A quick fun fact is that before filming the Like a Virgin number, the floor was rubbed with Coca-Cola to prevent the dancers from slipping. Like
the soda?
The soda.
Oh, to make it sticky.
Yeah.
Oh,
apparently. This is according to I'm almost positive that was a BuzzFeed article, so I really should be citing my sources, but whatever. God forbid.
Just saying whatever.
Right.
Just making shit up.
Yeah. So the movie, when it came out, it was not proclaimed to be a musical. So people were not super into musicals at the time, which is super surprising. Okay. But they basically kept it a secret from the test audiences that it was a musical.
Oh.
And obviously it went over well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it is fun. Jukebox musicals tend to be pretty good.
It was the first musical film to be nominated for Best Picture at the Academy Awards since Beauty and the Beast 10 years prior.
Wow.
And it was nominated for 8 Academy Awards total. Best Picture, Best Actress in a Leading Role, Best Cinematography, Best Makeup, Best Editing, and Best Song. But it came away with Best Art Direction and Best Costume Set Design. So it won those 2. Okay. So this is something of interest. Sorry, I am like going through my notes like a crazy.
This may be of interest.
This may be of interest to you. Apparently, Lerman wrote that, quote, the whole stylistic premise has been to decode what the Moulin Rouge was to the audiences of 1899 and express that same thrill and excitement in a way to which contemporary moviegoers can relate, end quote. So I think that's really interesting in that they didn't stick with historical themes because they were trying to bring that energy and liveliness of the Moulin Rouge to the 21st century.
I like that. I think that was... Now I was going to say one thing I noticed that I liked was a lot of the can-can dancers were very diverse. So they had all kinds of women performing and I thought that was pretty cool. And I feel like that was probably not authentic for the time period, but
I have no idea. I really don't remember. I know I knew information about that in the past, but I don't know anymore. I don't think it would have been accurate.
Probably not.
The movie was somewhat inspired by the Greek myth of Orpheus. So to give you a little reminder of Orpheus, that is the man who lost his love and had to go into the underworld to save her. And she would have been saved as long as he didn't look back, but he looked back and she is gone. Eurydice is gone forever. And so they play into that a little bit, like how he is walking away from Satine at the theater and then she starts singing to him and he turns back and looks at her. That's kind of apparently the nail in the coffin for her, even though she had TB and she would have died anyway. But apparently that's, was...
It's all Christian's fault. She probably could have healed. She could have lived.
Yep.
But
speaking of her dying, feminists do get really up in arms about the fact that she died. So there is some controversy about the fact that the strong female protagonist dies in the end. And I didn't read too much into it because I was like, you know what? I don't know.
I mean, I could see with characters that like female characters, what do they call them? There's like a term for it, but it's like female characters that aren't well written and they
Yes.
die to pretty much push the male character forward.
Yeah.
And I feel like this doesn't really count for that if that's what they're referring to.
Yeah.
Like Satine was her own character, she was well written, she was dying, like,
Right.
and I don't think it. I mean, it had Christian write their story, but
Yeah, I don't think
it didn't really
Yeah.
do much else for him.
It didn't
so
read
I wouldn't.
to me as him being like a savior or anything.
Right.
Just him
Yeah.
sad. So for me, I was like, I don't really give that too much credence. Credit.
No.
I don't know, whatever the word is.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong, and maybe I should have read an altering opinion because just to educate myself. But instead, I was like, nah. No thanks.
Wrong.
Not interested.
I don't see that. I mean, everyone can have their opinion, but I do think some people can be a little bit crazy with female characters, and it's like a constant issue. And I'm like,
right. It is tough.
I don't know.
I get it to an extent, but
Yeah.
at the same time, it is a movie, and I think that sometimes movies have endings where the lady dies. And
Yeah.
I think I am very, very much someone who will point out if in action movie, for example, you have Transformers where Megan Fox was just a
Right.
she was being
toy.
used as exactly. Or I will point that out. That's not cool. Here,
Right.
I feel like she had a well-rounded character, and considering the inspirations and things like that, it kind of
If
works.
if the movie surrounded more around Christian and the Duke, if Satine didn't really have much voice, I'd be like, that sucks. But she was very much a main character and had her motives. She wanted to be an actress, all this stuff, and she falls in love, and so I think she's definitely a good, strong character.
Yeah.
I don't want her to die.
No, no. I would have preferred her not to die, obviously. That would have been a much preferable ending.
Yes.
So I forgot to mention this earlier, but originally Courtney Love had auditioned for the role and didn't get it, but they had to pay her for the rights to Smells Like Teen Spirit because they included that in the movie.
Oh,
and so
interesting.
She got paid $125,000 for the rights. And Marilyn Manson was supposed to be in the movie, but because they have a long-standing feud, she was able to evoke her performer approval clause, which was in her contract, and was able to make it so he couldn't be in the movie.
Oh my
God.
God.
Yep. Which is just really very drama.
That's funny.
And then my last fun fact, I have another fact after, but it's a sad fact.
Okay.
My last fun fact, is that the necklace that Satine wears, that was a gift from the Duke, that glamorous necklace.
Yes.
It's the most expensive piece of jewelry ever to be made for a movie, and it cost over $1 million with over 1,300 diamonds, and it weighed 134 carats, which I don't know what that means in pounds.
Sounds heavy.
Let me look it up. 134.
It was a beautiful necklace. That's wild that they made it out of real diamonds and stuff.
Oh, that's not that much. It's like half, like 0.05 pounds. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Like nothing. All right. Well, I'll wear that necklace.
I can hold that.
I'll wear it. Put it on me.
I'll wear it.
No problem. And so my sad fact is that the director's dad died on the first day of production, which is so sad. But his dad told him, that he needed to keep working on the movie. Like, his dad was really a big proponent of working on it.
Yeah.
And so the fact that the movie reiterated these terms of the show must go on and pushing through in these moments of sadness, it definitely really closely connects with what he was going through in his life at the time.
Yeah. Oh, That's upsetting.
Those are all there's so much information. I could have kept
sure.
researching for forever.
Yeah.
There's a lot out there on it.
Yeah, I think this is definitely a cult classic.
Yeah,
very popular
yeah.
amongst people. It's just a fun time.
Yeah, agreed.
Can't not like Moulin Rouge unless
Right.
you hate everything.
Right, unless you hate everything.
Hate anything fun.
Unless you're like a loser, I guess.
You're like super lame. Okay. So Cena should be deleted, the end.
Yeah, good job.
I don't want to see that.
Correct. That's the only approvable. I mean, yeah.
Right before the curtain closes.
Right. Turn it off.
It just ends there.
Yeah.
The curtain closes and it has the end.
Yes.
On the curtain.
Yeah, and then you just imagine that they spent their life together, whatever she has left.
Yeah, she's suddenly cured.
Right. You know, maybe they go to the beach and she feels better.
Hey, you never know.
Right.
You never know. So, love interest, I would smash Christian and Satine.
Yeah. Yep.
Solid.
They're great.
I would pass on the Duke.
Yeah.
He was a creepy,
the Duke
gross man.
Grody. Yeah.
He was. Ugh.
No. Plus, clearly
him.
his actions show what kind of person he is. So.
Yeah, he's not a good person. And I was wondering if the actor's teeth, not to shame on his teeth, but like he had this really creepy, like it looked like they were fake.
Really?
Teeth. Yeah.
Oh.
And I wonder if those were his real teeth. Because I'm like, I feel like it just adds more to the character to make him mirror. It's like a creepazoid.
I have no idea.
Because I don't remember. I think maybe they could have been fake. Because in Dracula, I remember in Van Helsing.
I'm trying to look at pictures
he's
of
also
him,
a vampire,
but
so
he doesn't show his teeth in any of these pictures that are on his IMDb.
Maybe he does have bad teeth. He doesn't want to smile.
No.
Yeah. Oh, he has good teeth.
Okay.
So he might have had fake teeth then, because they were really gross.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh yeah, I finally found a picture of him. He has decent. He's teeth.
He has teeth.
Yep.
So, how likely to fall in love? I said 10. I mean,
okay.
Either situation. If I'm in Christian shoes or Satine's, it's a 10.
Yeah.
Would I recommend it? I said yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
More likely yes, but it is a musical and it's not for everyone. So, yeah. No, but mostly yes.
Yeah.
And I rated it a 4.8.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a very good movie. The only reason why I didn't give it 5 is because
she died in the end.
It's sad and I wasn't sure if there was cultural appropriation during the performance at the end. I was like,
it's a little dicey where I'm like, I know that it was 2001, but it's still
yeah. So, and El Chocolat showing up in the blue for their one god figure. I was like, oh.
There's a lot of
like nothing seemed cartoonish or really inappropriate. It just seemed like a bunch of white people having fun.
Right.
But those are
sometimes
attire. That's attire that they wear for But anyway.
Yeah, it's
4.8.
Yeah.
It's a solid flick. Solid movie.
All right.
So my movie for you is going to be The Village by M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh boy, an M. Night Shyamalan. I haven't seen
it. Have you seen any M. Night?
I know he's notorious.
Oh, he is. I think The Village is one of his last few good movies, though. So, at least for me, I liked it.
He did The Last Airbender. I forgot that he did The Last Airbender.
He did.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen.
Oh my! You haven't even seen The Sixth Sense?
Oh, dude, I never saw this.
Oh my god!
I know the ending got ruined for me by
everything.
By everything, but mostly by a college professor who I really made me dislike that college.
It's still good. It's still good even if you know the end.
Yeah.
Anyway, M. Night Shyamalan, notorious director. So The Village is about this young girl, and she lives in a village. Crazy.
Oh.
And she's just living her life, but there's these creatures, these beasts that surround the woods around the village and kind of keep everyone inside. And so she ends up kind of being more curious about the beasts and venturing out more, and monster madness ensues.
Oh boy, a monster movie.
Not much I can really say about it.
Right.
Yeah, monster movie.
It'll have a little twist, I'm sure.
Yeah,
He's
all his movies.
So
all these movies got a little twist to it. So,
Yep.
But I like this one. I think it's underrated for one of his movies. But yeah, obviously, The Sixth Sense is his best one.
Okay. Interesting.
So,
yeah.
I think you have fun with it. It's not really spooky.
Okay.
It's more thrillery, I'd say.
Okay.
It's really...
I was gonna ask you to keep it easy on me this week, and then I was like, whatever.
No, this is the light one.
Okay, great.
This won't spook you.
Awesome. Well, come back next week to see how I feel about an M. Night Shyamalan twist.
Yeah, your first one.
My first one. That's actually weird. I feel like there has to be, I don't know, maybe IMDb isn't thorough. Maybe it's not accurate.
Signs? Did you watch Signs?
I don't think so.
Aliens?
So. You
Lady in the Water?
Nope.
Okay. You probably haven't watched any of these. Maybe Avatar, but that doesn't really count.
No, I didn't even see that.
Oh no, you saved yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, everyone was so open arms about it. It wasn't worth watching, so.
No. Yeah.
Life is short. Save yourself the pain.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll see how you feel about M. Night.
Yeah.
Get you to watch The Sixth Sense afterwards.
Oh God, yeah, finally. You can find us on Instagram, how do you watch this? TikTok, how do you watch? Gmail, how do you watch this at gmail.com? And follow, review, subscribe, whatever the business is. Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
And have a great day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.